Yo, hey, what's up guys? In today's video we're gonna use Odin and Hydra. I think you are familiar with his kit, but I'm just gonna tell you what I think, why he's so super insane in here. It is basically his passive. Every 9th turn, it doesn't matter you, the enemy or whatever, every 9th turn you get the block damage. And also he will spread all his buffs, so kind of you know where I'm going for. Yeah, we will today look at a Wixwell team that is basically super easy to set up if you have an Odin. And also I'm gonna kind of tell you why I think he's in other teams really nice too. But also his A3 is really nice. We can use the buffs of those enemies and we can keep them forever if we have the right setup. So that is a really nice one too. And also, yeah, he can steal buffs and stuff, but in our Yannicka team right now, it's kind of, you don't use it on the end and just remove every buff if you want to pop those shields and stuff. But you kind of know what I mean. It's a really nice one. So why do I think even Odin is so great? Just for an example, if you do him super slow all the time and you have like a debuffer, like let's say Lydia, you know how it is. She will put out a increased speed on your team, for example. But if only she puts the increased speed up there, there will always be a gap where your champions lose the increased speed. And also then they don't have the increased speed anymore, and that's what you kind of don't want. You don't want to lose the increased attack on your Vaselvark or something. But if you have a Odin, relatively slow, not like when your team is 250-ish and he's like 180 speed, you fill that gap. Basically he always comes in. Just imagine every 9th turn we have 12, okay, we got 10, like 4 heads and 6 champions. Everybody takes 1 turn, he will spread the buffs. Then again, everybody takes 9 turns, he will spread the buffs. So if he's the slowest and she's gonna recast it on him all the time, he will always have enough durations to share around. So but overall, if you make your Odin slower, then you never lose your buffs anymore. He always comes in, and also you get a block damage all over across every 9th turn. That is basically saving you so much, and he is amazing. I'm obviously gonna show you her in a Yannicka team today, but there will be so many other things. But yeah, the team just came in mind, like buff spread is sound like, hey, it's made for Yannicka, woo, let's go. So we have a Wixwell right here. I'm gonna show you quickly the presets. And then we're gonna go into the fight and I'm gonna kind of show you what is up and stuff, why he is so great and how it looks, and it's kind of really nasty. And in my team, usually I have a Duchess in my team. But Odin is in here, speeds don't matter anymore. That's why I can bring a Sharma L, boosting our Wixwell, and Odin on the end is gonna spread the shield and all his buffs over and over again. So it does not matter if Wixwell goes like 400 speed on the end, he will get so many durations on the end that, yeah, you will see what I mean. Let's go into the fight. Before we gonna start the fight, I'm gonna do a little trick, because we will put a Yannicka gets her shield stolen, Yannicka gets her shield back, and Yannicka will get her buff stolen again loop. So on the end, it is super nice. I did something really cool. We are on hard mode right now, because my first testings are always on hard mode to make it for myself a little bit easier. Because I don't want to go for 550 resistance on champions, figure that gear out. I cannot use the optimizer. So I'm gonna go low first, but obviously it's gonna work on Nightmare and stuff too. So we're just gonna do a little trick on the beginning. The first trick is we have our Odin in a immunity set. So if we take 9 turns, he will spread the block debuffs on our champions, and also the Wixwell is gonna increase it over and over slowly. Our Odin will get durations up, like starting on 2, then it goes up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. And yeah, we're gonna use our intercept right now. And we can do a little bit of damage. What we're gonna avoid right now is to actually use our block debuffs. No, block buffs from our Shayak right now. Because we kind of wanna steal some buffs before we go into the fight. It makes my loop going well. Because, yeah, I would explain it a little bit. So usually I would use block buffs right now. But I'm not gonna use it because of... We're gonna steal the red hat his buffs. when he got his reflect damage and also his block debuff. So technically the immunity set on the Odin is not important because we get a block debuff anyway. So keep that in mind, but I just went for it to just show off that that is something you can do also. If you have a buff extender in a normal team and you just make him slow, he will always get those buffs across the board and you will never lose anything anymore. So that is amazing, to be honest. So he's not gonna do anything right now. We're just gonna wait until he does the counter attack and gets his stuff up. But first we wanna get him a turn so we can actually get it right on the right turn and stuff. So here we go, he spread all those buffs. That's really, really nice. Now everybody has block debuffs, comes in clutch, comes in handy really well. I'm gonna increase here again. We got our, no, we're not gonna use block buffs right now because we want him to get his buffs. He's on 11 right now. Let's attack him one more time. He's gonna attack us. And here we go. Now let's take Odin a turn. Yeah, he needs to do the reset. And Yannicka right now is in full damage gear. Like, that's the beauty about it, because the shield comes all over again and again and again. So you technically never lose it. So let's put on some attack in here. Oh, now it's his turn. We're gonna steal his buff. And from here now we can press the auto button. And also this rotation right now is the weirdest rotation for a Yannicka team right now. Why is that so? Because we don't have a Mischief tank out there right now. That is super bad, but in this team right now we can bring a Mischief right now, because we can get a block debuffs from the boss or from a immunity set. That makes it so much better, and you couldn't do you can do damage in this team way better. Because of obviously Shamael, and also Yannicka can afford to get a damage gear set. And slowly, because he's the slowest, our Odin, he will get his buff increased by slowly, like the duration goes up, and then he will spread it again. If we lose a shield at the moment, that is no problem at all, because at some point he comes back again and we'll just put it all over again. But you might think like, okay, how do we resolve it on the end, that we can actually do the big kaboom? It is super easy. You just put intercept on Yannicka. That's it. If you do the right preparation, you get your reflect damage and the block debuffs from either a head or, yeah, okay, the reflect damage needs to come from a head, you gotta steal it, and the block debuffs can come from the set. But if you have those buffs on him and you will spread it, it is super fine, everything is okay. And at the moment we have, I think it's Wixwell, Shayek, and sometimes Odin as a Mischief target that kind of flips around all the time because the block damage is coming and going, so keep that in mind. And also I thought to myself, okay, they will steal the block damage probably. Is that a problem? That probably is a big problem, because I cannot do any damage. If the Mischief head steals our buffs, a block damage for one turn, and he does his skill, he will put the duration on 2 on every other head. So that is not really good. But we can just use duration times on our Odin. Like when he gets his durations up to 8 or something, then the Mischief head will steal from Yannicka and will put block damage out there. But we don't have to kill that immediately, so we can just wait a little bit longer, and when the boss is spreading the buffs, because he has so much durations on it, on the second time, you can just blow them up. And I think that's a really cool one, because it's super easy on the end. You just put intercept on Yannicka again, you blow them up, and you do it all over again. You can kill heads right now, and Odin, he's just a master in buff spreading. Like that is insane what he can do. To be honest, and you get a block damage and stuff. But at this point we're gonna jump into a video where I did the blow ups a couple times, and you will see what I mean. Okay, we waited a little bit. We already did the blow up a couple times before. I was testing around stuff, I figured out how it works, and then I pressed the record button. And also we have been growing our shield, spreading it around, and now we got the Mischief head out there again. That is beautiful. We put the intercept on our Yannicka, and that's basically it. But of course she needs her perfect veil to make it actually work. So she actually got the right amount on buffs. And we are waiting again until, oh, he just stole it. And yeah, we are waiting until he spreads it around. In this moment, I think I was figuring it out. And also, like, there's a cool, neat little trick that could sometime work. He's gonna steal, wait for it. Is there a block damage? Okay, we got kind of lucky and there was no block damage. That's really cool, so we can do the blow up probably immediately. But usually the boss will also steal your block damage, and then you just have to wait it out because of the durations of the buff. They are so long, and Mischief will basically never lose the shield for a couple of turns, and then you can just wait for it a little bit, like, differently. But yeah, probably we're gonna do the blow up right now. Yes, let's skip a little bit backwards. And I just put the intercept back on Yannicka so she can get her buffs next time stolen immediately. And it's crazy, you just get your shield back every time, super easy. And Odin fits perfectly in here. He was the solution I was asking for, kind of. And yeah, you'll see about the respawn. Alright, the Mischief had come back. We need to wait, and he stole our buffs again. But this time he was using the block, he was stealing the block damage. That means also he will put out 2 durations of those on those other heads. And at this situation I was kind of, how do we solve that? It's kind of dumb because, like, whatever. But then I just went for like, we're just gonna wait it out. Like, look at the duration, it's on a 8. The boss will do it in 4 turns later again, so we just gonna wait it out. But also there is a neat little trick. You can use your Shaman A1 and he has like a chance to remove a duration of a buff. If you are happy enough, lucky enough, you hit the boss and the block damage will disappear. It's kind of not so likely, but it's a cool little trick that could sometimes make you a little bit more damage on the end. And at this moment, I think maybe I didn't completely right. Yeah, I was just thinking maybe I'm gonna just, yeah, kill the Mischief over and over in a kind of a loop. But then I was like, that's not the greatest in the world. So let's try differently. What are we gonna do? And this time, no Mischief came back, but okay. We're gonna kill a head, that is no problem, because of the Shamael. He hits like a truck. And let's go ahead, another dead head. The blue head came back. Let's go. Let's not go. Dude! Can you please? Alright, let's go. Mischief is back. And also, when you do something like that on the end, the block buffs, debuff, you don't use that skill on your Shayak anymore. Obviously, you don't gonna use that skill on your Odin to remove all those shields. Obviously, so yeah, you do that mistake one time and you think like, okay, I'm gonna try it differently. So let's see. It is not only Yannicka that is the target for the Mischief, but it is really likely that she gets her buff stolen. Sometimes it takes a little bit. It is how it is, you know how it is, like RNG always gets you. And in this time, also, he got the block damage and I was still like, okay, you know what, now I have a goal. I will just outweight it, all the heads coming back, really, really nice. And then we still got the shield on the middle left one, that's kind of unfortunately, but it is how it is. And we just do the blow up again. Nice, nice, nice. We're just waiting for the... Oh, Mischief immediately came back. Oh, and also got our buffs kind of a little bit early in my opinion, but no, everything fits perfectly. He spread the buffs again. We are just waiting it out this time again. See the one on the skill on the boss now. We're waiting for that again, that he can use it again. We're trying to not kill that one head. Or were we able to do it? Yes, nice. So we got 4 heads this time again. And we are doing the blow up in right now. Nice, so everybody died, so waiting again. We reached turn limit and the Mischief didn't come back, so that's kind of RNG, but you kind of see already where that is going to. Like, you can get your buff stolen over and over again. RNG is like maybe not on your side on respawns, but you can kill boss heads again. And he was perfectly made for it. Like, to be honest, I don't know what they're thinking about, but they already did the champion probably like 6 months, 1 year in preparation or something. And they couldn't kind of see that the Wixwell thing is a thing right now, but everything they kind of release right now fits perfectly in here. But also, the Loki could also be used in that spot where he is right now. So you can just use, it's kind of a budget version. You go in there and then he's also super slow. Then you just increase his duration over and over. And Loki will cast his own buff spread ability on himself. And you just really hope that he grabs his shield and you just get the shield on the whole team. Maybe you cannot so reliably replace your shield. For example, like right now, Yannicka gets her shield stolen and then it's up 9 turns later. And it's not going to happen so easy for your Loki, but it can work. It is not out of the window, and it's kind of a little bit easier to make one champion just super slow and his shield grows and grows and grows. And if everybody else is not like in the best defense set or something, then that they run out of their shield, it's not so important. Just one champion needs to have it. And Loki also can target other champions, so you can go with a little bit of fantasy. But yeah, that's the Odin thing right here. We are just trying to get the Mischief back. We are running out of turns. Oh, wait, he is already back. Yeah, and then he stole our buffs again. We are waiting it out. So the other heads will lose all their shields. We're trying to get that shield be gone from that right head. And still waiting it out. Kind of didn't quite work, but it is how it is. And in a second we're gonna do the blow up again. Yes, got 3 more heads, and let's go a little bit further. Did we get the Mischief again? No, we didn't. We're trying to kill now, I think. Yeah, let's go. Where's that head? Come on. Oh, right there. And yeah, the RNG again, who the head is targeting. Let's go. And alright. It's again Yannicka, got her shield stolen. But it's so close to turn limit that I was kind of unsure. Like, should I do it now or later? Because we still have to outrate it because of the block damage. It is how it is. We cannot avoid that one. And yeah, I did it earlier, so I was just doing it right now. The boss was also having a unkillable right now. That could be also kind of a trick that could be used later. If you want to get your buff stolen, that you maybe cast your unkillable on your Emic right before, and you hope that the boss gets the unkillable, and you can do like 2 times of damage in one go and something. I can kind of work on that, and 100% I will try to get Odin. He is, for even in normal teams and stuff, he will be a joker, like a really, really good one. And by himself, he brings like really nice things like decreased defense and steal. Is gonna remove all those buffs. That is a really, really nice thing. And yeah, 100% I will go for him. Let's go and watch the end screen right there. Odin right here did that was the easiest team I have ever built, kind of, because it doesn't matter if something goes wrong that hardcore on the end. Like, he will always replace the shield. The beginning, it's so clean. You can just go in there and you exactly know what to do, and you just do it, and that's kind of it. And at this moment I will just show you the gear sets and what I have on them and stuff like that. Okay, the gear set. We have Odin in a immunity set, but like I said before, you can also put him not in a immunity set, and you can steal the block debuffs from the red head. But maybe sometimes he's not there from the beginning or something, so it's kind of cool to do it. And yeah, I really do enjoy that you never will lose it. So yeah, I got him in resistance and almost no speed, but my immunity set, what I have, has like, I think nothing that has no speed on it, because I saved only the things with speed. That is kind of a little bit unfortunately, but it is how it is. I put resistance on him that is okay for hard mode, but not for higher stages and stuff. That's why we actually are on hard mode. And also the masteries. Oh wait, I need to put in the Hydra thingy. Maybe to change something for you. Alright. Masteries are like that. I went down the resistance and also accuracy. Then who do we got next? Let's talk about Shamael. Really nice in here, so you can actually kill heads and you turn meter boost your leader. And for example, Wixwell can just use his skill more often when the blue head is out, and you get even more durations on your Odin. So he is in damage set. Really nice that you can afford to go in damage sets in there. Masteries are like this. Got the Giant Slayer. And some other things in there. So, who is next? Let's go talk about Shayak. That's his set. He's in a shield set, and some people need to be in a shield set, but it is really not as hard to make Odin survive, or if he's super slow, he will also get the block damage on himself. So it just takes a little bit longer if you don't have the biggest shield in the world. That's also a big plus. You don't need crazy shield sets and something, and a Krisk and something. So really cool. Let's show you the stats. In this one, he can also be like, the speed can be okay-ish. Like 180 is not the best in the world, but you still gotta do the Emic Shayak taunt loop, and Emic needs to be like when you put 50% of his speed. Wait, let me put in the Hydra again so I kind of see. So 50% of his speed will be added on his speed. So let's say we have 190. So we got 95 plus. And then that speed must be minimum on your Emic. But since Odin is in here, Emic can be as fast as you want. That was also a problem before, that the Emic needs to be fast, but not too fast. And there was kind of a little bit too many problems. But Odin is just gonna resolve everything. That is super crazy. Let's talk about, like, he has nothing in here. And also here he has accuracy for me right now. But maybe you need the resistance. Could be totally fine, whatever you need in that moment. Let's talk about the Emic. Like I said, 50% added to Shayak's speed, and that's the minimum for your Emic. But my Emic is in a reflex set to make stuff a little bit more easy, to refresh our things on Wixwell, for example, that he can use his increations more often. And also, like, he is really nice speed, 323. So I could go just as high as I want, and that's the good thing. Like, it was way easier to get my Shayak on higher speed, because my Emic can go also way higher than usually, because he will not outrun his buffs anymore. He will refresh, he will get his buffs refreshed all the time. And yeah, he's in a reflex set. If I could, I would go merciless and reflex, but I can't at this moment in time. He has resistance for some reason right now, but actually he doesn't need it in that comp, to be honest. But also you could make him to a target 2 that get his buff stolen, because you can, at some moment, you can cast just this one, then he gets a taunt, and yeah, that's one more buff on him. Then you put intercept on him, and also, but that is kind of not so reliable, because that taunt will go off and on. But Yannicka has her perfect veil the mostly, so she was just a better target for it. About Yannicka, let's go in her. Let's talk about her. She is in full damage set right now. That is not usual, like really not. That is the power of Odin only. And yeah, we got some damage things in here and got some pretty nice damage. Not the speediest in the world, but 224 is kind of really nice. And also we have at the moment War Master in here, but since I changed to damage set, I probably would go Helm Smasher, to be honest. But yeah, on the end it's up to you. You saw it's really nice, because you can kill the bosses really easy, kind of, and stuff. And that also will work on Nightmare, to be honest. Let me check who is missing. I think, Wixwell, of course, obviously. One of the most important one in here. So, he does have a Merciless and a Reflex, and that is kind of really important. It is not like you have to do it, because the Odin is super slow, and it just will take a little longer that, for example, he reaches 8 on his durations on your Odin, because he didn't refresh his skill as often as mine, for example, when he has just Merciless and Reflex instead of just Reflex. And those are his stats. So he's 264 speed. Also we got resistance on him, so he will here and there will be also a target. So you have to keep that in mind. But since we are using Yannicka in a loop, it does not matter if you have like multiple Mischief targets in there sometimes, and you just wait it out till your buffs get stolen on your Yannicka, and it's okay. You just put resistance on him. But another reason why I didn't go on Nightmare, because I couldn't just get those stats really high on him for just a nightmare quick test and just see if it happens or not. And also he's resistance, and yeah, at this moment in time when you use your Odin, you can use stuff like this one, yes, a debuff, that you increase your turn meter and stuff, that doesn't even matter. But just on Odin, like usually you don't use that one, or maybe that one, you could use it right now. That is really not such a big problem anymore if you have Odin in there. Overall, I really do like the team, and it was a lot of stress to keep me it up, and it would be awesome of you guys if you hit that like button. And yeah, overall, I do like the team. It's way easier like than other teams like Shayak, Painkeeper, some combos and stuff. Odin just makes it really easy. Make him slow, he takes the buff, he never loses the buffs, and also your team never loses the buffs because of him. It's just incredible, and no other champion can do it as efficient as him. But like I said, Loki will be another champion that can do technically it, but you gotta be a little bit more lucky if he grabs his own shield or not. You kind of know what I mean. And yeah, that will be the end of the video. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done already, and yeah, have a nice day.